Welcome back to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez circuit, where qualifying will begin shortly. Today's qualifying should be an interesting affair, as the drivers try to put in their best laps on this fascinating circuit.
It's difficult to predict who's going to master this circuit when it really matters. This 4.4-kilometre track will certainly provide a mix of challenges to both the drivers and their cars. I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to come out on top.
Hello guys, it's Tom, welcome back to a brand new video. And this is part number 17 of my F1 2015 career mode, and we're here at the brand new Mexico circuit, and it's a track that I actually really enjoy. You may have seen on my channel, I've done a hot lap around it before, and it's a track that's quite enjoyable to drive, I'm not going to lie. It does have a couple of corners that I don't particularly like for example, just went through it now, the left-hand hairpin in the stadium section. I really do not like that corner, just understeery, really slow, just a corner that ruins the flow of the track. But nevertheless, here we are in qualifying as per usual. And we're on a lap here. As you can see, we're going down this massive pit straight here. As we come into the first three corners, this right, left, right chicane. As you can see, hitting the first apex nicely, going through the second one, sacrifice the second corner to get a brilliant run out of the third hit to propel you nicely down this straight. As soon as you open up the DRS here, you're going to get a nice bit of straight line speed, and we're coming up on Nico Rosberg in the first sector here. As we slow it all down for this left hand, I believe turn 4, and then through turn 5. These two corners, very slow corners on the track. Got to just take it nice and easy. In second gear now, slowing it all down for this double apex right hand hairpin, which are turns 5 and 6, or sorry, 6 and 7 I believe. And now we're coming into the best part of the track, which is this really nice flowing section here. As you can see, we're going left, and then now we're going to go right in a second. We're going to go down to the fifth gear, then quickly flick it left again, go up a gear in the process, and we're still up on Nico Rosberg here through the middle sector. And definitely the best part of the track, that taking a nice bit of flow and speed through there. Dropping it down to fourth gear, we run awfully wide here, which actually costs us a bit of time. Then coming into the horrible corner here, the one that I most hate on the track, the hairpin, such a horrible corner. And then we're coming finally into the final corner now in third gear, hit the apex nicely, trying to run out too wide, try and gun the power as soon as possible to try and get the best run to the line here. We're going to come across the line, and it's pole position here at the Mexican Grand Prix, and it's a pretty good lap here from us. We've got a 119.4, so a really good lap there, and I'm actually quite pleased with it. Could have maybe done a little bit better, but overall, generally, that's a really nice, clean, tight lap, and I was definitely quite pleased with it. So hopefully it all goes well in the race, because there are only 3 races, there's only 2 more races after this, so the championship's getting exciting.
And it's Kimi Raikkonen on pole for tomorrow's race, after a fantastic lap time that has cemented his place in the top spot.
He's certainly going to be leading the charge from the front. And if he can get through the first couple of laps without any issues, he could be difficult to beat based on today's performance.
The crowd are ready for today's action, and we hope you're ready to see the world's best drivers fighting it out for the race win. It's time for the Mexican Grand Prix. The man with everything to play for today is Kimi Raikkonen. He starts in P1 and will need all his fabled coolness in order to keep things from boiling over into turn 1.
There are a lot of variables that can cause a driver to be happy with the car one day to struggling with it the next. Track temperature, excessive tyre wear, or a change of fuel load can all affect the feel of a car. He'll definitely be hoping that when the race gets underway, he's got the same balance as he enjoyed in qualifying.
Daniel Kvyat will hope that the DRS problems that he suffered earlier in the weekend are now behind him. Otherwise, it could be a very long Grand Prix for him today.
There was a scary point when it came open just before turn 6, and Daniel was lucky to catch the car, or he could have been a passenger heading towards the barriers. The team have said they've since resolved the issue, so hopefully he'll be fine today.
So it's race day here at the Mexican Grand Prix, and we're going to gear up to 5 red lights, and we are underway here at Mexico, and so far so good. Not a bad start, even though we are going to get mugged off by the Mercedes at the start as per usual. We're actually running 1-1 wings around here, so we should be able to keep up in the straight lines here. As you see, we're actually going to re-overtake Lewis Hamilton into turn 1 here, but we're going to be squeezed onto the outside of the curb. Bottas goes flying up the inside, and we've got a Ferrari down our inside as well, I believe, and Massa's also there. We're going to have to try and make our way through turns 1, 2 and 3 here, nice and easily, run out a little bit wide onto the curb, but we've only gone down to 4th place, so it's not too bad so far, even though we started on pole position. So an okay start from us there so far. Could have been a lot worse, because that first chicane is a bit of an issue with the traffic. So here we are now on lap 2, as you can see, and Hamilton and Bottas are going side by side. That's going to put me right on the back of the pair of them. We're going to go to the inside, which is going to become the outside for the next corner. We're going to get past Bottas, but Hamilton just closes the door on us, and Bottas is going to re-overtake us up the inside. So we tried to go for the move there on Lewis Hamilton, but he did just shut the door on us, so we couldn't make it. And we're going to have to try and overtake Bottas elsewhere as we go through the hairpin. Now we're going to try and set him up for an undercut line, or switch back to try and see if we can line up Bottas through his S's now. We're going to try and take some really aggressive cutback lines here to see if we can try and pass the finished driver, because he is actually going quite slow. As you can see, Rosberg is pulling away in the distance, so we definitely want to try and pass Valtteri Bottas here as we get a really nice run out of that last section of this flowing part of the track. And as you can see, we're right on the back of Bottas. We're going to pull to the inside and we're going to pass him up the inside nice and easy. We do run a bit wide, so I think you could class that as an illegal overtake, so I think we're going to have to give that position back to Bottas at some point. And I think we give him the position back here. Yes, we do. We give him the position back, and we make sure we don't lose any more places as we get right back on the back of him here, coming out the final corner. And DRS should be enabled now going on to this lap, so I don't think there's DRS down this straight, but there might be down the next one. But here we are then in the slipstream of Bottas, and we're not even going to need DRS. We're absolutely mugging him off down the stretch because you're going to pull to the inside, and we've got so much more straight line speed, and we pass him easily there for P3. So we're back up onto the podium, and now we're going to see if we can try and hunt down them Mercedes, because they are the target of this race. So we want to try and pass them because we don't want the championship to get too out of hand, and we want to try and maintain our lead. So here we are then on lap 5 with DRS. Actually, no, we don't get DRS, but we're behind Hamilton. We have a massive tank slapper here. We just tapped the back of him, and for some reason the overreactive contact physics on this game made me almost lose the rear end on him there just by going down a straight. So almost could have crashed out the race there, but luckily enough we didn't. And now we're on the back of him in lap 6, and we're going to get past him this time nice and easily here. As you can see, we're going to fly past him, and he's never going to put much of a fight because we've got so much straight line speed around here with the setup. So a really good move there from us, and it's going to put us up into P2 for the time being. And now we're behind Nico Rosberg as we lose the rear end on lap 7, and we managed to catch it. So once again we're losing the rear end, but Hamilton's going to try and go up our inside, but we cover him off nicely there, and we managed to not pass us. Now skipping later on in the race, and we've had a couple of Larry moments so far, and there might not be the last one. But here we are then on lap 8 now, and Hamilton's got the DRS on us. He's going to come up our inside down the straight into turn 1. As you can see, we've still got a lot of straight line speed even though we haven't got DRS, and Hamilton, we're going to try and squeeze him to the inside. And as we go into turn 1, are we going to hold it around the outside? No, we don't. Hamilton still commits to the inside, but we tap the back of him there, which makes it break, and we slow down together. But here we are on the back of Hamilton now, getting a really good exit out of the chicane, but we actually get a tank stopper on the exit, so that actually compromised a really good run for the corner, and Hamilton had DRS, so we couldn't pass him anyway. But here we are now on lap 8. As you see, Hamilton's coming into the pits, and so are we, and for some reason they seem to go really slow when they come into the pits, but we managed to pass Hamilton, having a bit of a wiggly moment there into the pit lane. For some reason the tyres around here just didn't seem to work. There was a lot of slippery patches. It's almost like Codemasters have managed to implement the fact that this track is brand new, so it's going to be very green and very slippery. So it definitely felt very slippery. I had a couple of spins in practice, so I wasn't feeling 100% confident with the car. And here we are now rejoining the track. As you can see, we've got a second gear glitch, which is magnificent because this straight is massive and we don't really want that. But we rejoin in 6th place, maybe 7th, no 7th, because Jenson Button's going to pass us there. But nonetheless, we do take 7th place. We've actually we passed Hamilton in the pit stops there. I didn't realise. We actually managed to jump him, so I think maybe the Mercedes had the stack, I'm not sure, but nevertheless we pass Hamilton, and now we're on the back of Jenson Button here with the DRS. This should be a very easy move as we go to the inside. Jenson Button's got no chance against our straight line speed, and we make the move up into P6. So so far so good, and we don't have to win this race. We just have to make sure that we finish just in front of Hamilton or just behind, just to not lose, or just not lose any points, or not lose many points this race. And here we are on lap 16. As you can see, we've got DRS, and we're behind Nico Rosberg, and we're actually going to line him up for a move here as we go to the inside, and we've got the DRS, and we're going to fly up his inside there before the corner even comes about. But we do run in all 3 deep because we broke a bit too late, and that's going to set us on the back foot. And as you can see, we're running wide, and Rosberg is on the back of us here, and he's right on our gearbox even though we've got DRS. Is he going to try and size us up for a move here into the left-hander here? Rosberg is on the try, but we are going to cover him off, and then we're now in the lead of the race. So could we make it 4 in a row? Because now we've got the lead. There's only about, 18 laps to go, so we've got a chance of winning this race here. As we come out of this corner, we lose the rear end, and we go into the wall and we lose our front wing. So that came out of nowhere, and now we've got a bit of a challenge on our hands. We are going to get a bit lucky because at the end of lap 16 we was going to pit anyway for a set of prime tyres, but we lost 1 place to Hamilton in that entire process, so we got off quite lightly there with that spin and that losing that front wing. So not too bad, but we are going to have a really slow pit stop here where we have a front wing change, so it's not really going to be a fast pit stop, but we are going to have to just try and make do with what we got. And it was our fault, we did lose the rear end, so we're going to have to put up and shut up with that. And we have a 7.5 pit stop, and we lose the position to Bottas in the pit stops there, but not as bad as I thought. I think we got off quite lightly. We could have been a hell of a lot worse. So here we are then, we're joining the track as you can see, and hopefully we're not too far back, and we can try and make some moves As you can see, we've got a second gear glitch once again. Really annoying second gear glitch around this track, because as you see, we're just wiggling in a straight line. It was really frustrating, because if you remember, if you cast your minds back to Spa, we actually lost the rear end and went into the wall. So not Spa, Monza, we lost it at Monza, we went into the wall and lost our front wing thanks to the second gear glitch. So nevertheless though, here we are, and as you can see, resume on to the action. We lose the rear end out of the final corner as we get put off by Vettel going to the pits, and we get a warning for corner cutting there out of the final corner because we had to straight line it, and that's allowed Ricciardo to get up alongside us now down the pit straight. But we've got DRS, so has he, but we've got so much more straight line speed, and it should be a foregone conclusion that we're going to take this position, and we're not going to let Ricciardo pass us. But this race victory should get a hell of a lot more interesting now, because all these mistakes that we're doing is actually going to affect us quite a bit, and it should be interesting to see how things pan out, like I said, because with all these mistakes, it's just going to be interesting to see where everyone pans out. We lose the rear end once again on the curb there, and Ricciardo's passed us, so that curb seems to be causing us some problems today, because we've already lost the front wing there off of that curb, and once again we almost screwed up royally once again. And we've managed to get alongside Ricciardo here. We're going to squeeze him out onto the apex, and we're going to make the move up into P4. We do run a bit wide, but I didn't think that was an illegal overtake, because he also ran out wide on the inside of the corner, so I think it was even Stevens there, and no one was really to blame. But here comes Ricciardo on that 24. He's going to go up our inside, and surprisingly he's got the straight line speed on us here. As you can see, he's coming alongside, and who's going to blink first into the first corner? We'll have to wait and see. Ricciardo breaks quite late. We're going to try and hang it around the outside, but Ricciardo's still there on our inside. He's going to squeeze us into the apex, and we are going to have to try and get a cutback line on him here down the straight, but we do get a massive tank slapper on the exit, and that's actually going to compromise our line through the corner, and that's allowed Ricciardo to permanently stay ahead of us. So that's not good for us, but we are going to have to try and overtake him once again elsewhere. Maybe where we overtook him last lap, that wouldn't be a bad overtaking spot, and definitely would be a good possibility to pass him here. So here we are then, going through the double right hand hairpin, and we're going to see if we can try and line Ricciardo up, because even though he's passed us, we're not actually going that slow. We've got some good pace, but we keep making mistakes, and Ricciardo's actually not that fast. And here we go, and once again we've got a brilliant run. We're going to go up the inside, but this time Ricciardo actually covers the door on us, shuts the door clean, and we managed to not get him. But this time we have got a slipstream on him down this little short back straight, and we are going to pull to the inside and pass him up the inside of this right hander here. He's still on our outside there, but we do squeeze him out, and we take the move definitively now for P4. So finally we get past Ricciardo, and a clean move there for us to get the P4, so not too bad. And now we're going to see if we can try and actually make some inroads into the top three, because we want to get that podium position back. And there's someone in the pits there, so we're going to see who it is. I think it might be Bottas, maybe, I'm not sure. See, yes it is, that's Bottas there, kind of up in. There's another car there, I think that's Lewis Hamilton, and yes it is, it's Lewis Hamilton. We're going to get any slipstream here. Let's try and pull to the outside and run with the P2, but we do have to do another pit stop, so we're going to see what happens there, but we're going to see what our pace is like. Now we've got some clean air. We're going to see if we can try and pull away off Lewis Hamilton, but it'll be very hard because he's in the fresh options, I believe. And now in that 26, you see we lose the rear end, and we're going to the pit lane, and we're going to come in for our set of options, I believe, and go to the end on these tyres. So we're going to see what the pit stop is like. Hamilton actually stayed right with us throughout that entire stint, so we're basically a pit stop behind Lewis Hamilton. So with that, we're going to be passing him this race, which isn't brilliant, but we're going to have to put up with it, because the reason we're down here is our own fault, because we did make all these mistakes. So if we can just get maybe a top 4 or top 5, that would probably be a good result this race. And as you can see, we completely forgot, but Vettel has passed us now, so I think we're down to P5, unless Vettel has to stop again. I'm not sure, but maybe Vettel has to stop, I'm not sure, but at the moment we're down to P5, so it's not good for us. And with 2 laps to go, as you can see, we've got Ricciardo on the back of us once again, and we lose the rear end out of turn number 2. We're going to try and catch it, but we lose it into the wall, lose our front wing. We almost get hit by the Manor car, and we're now down to P5, and Ricciardo is going to pass us briefly. There he goes up our inside, and I think Williams as well. I think Felipe Massa's coming up right behind us here, and not good for us there. Second time this race we lost damn front wing, and it was our own fault. And as you can see, we come into the pit, and we get a 5-second penalty for running out wide there. So just misery compiler, really. Just, you know, when it rains it pours, I guess. And wow, that was actually shocking. So I can't believe I got a 5-second penalty, because I had no front wing and I was trying to get into the pits as fast as I could, but because the pit entry is kind of curved, I just couldn't make it. So I don't know, I thought it was a bit harsh. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But nevertheless, another front wing this race, and we're down to P14 at the minute, so absolutely atrocious end to the race here with setups to go. I don't think we're going to be getting points this race, so that is actually going to be a horror show, and definitely not what we wanted though. Here we are, nevertheless, we're going to try and see if we can try and spice up this race just a little bit these last couple of laps, and we're on the fresh option, so we should be really fast, and straight away we overtake Maldonado there, so that's one position out of the way. And we're going to see if we can try and overtake Nasser, and the car in front, I believe, is Perez. I'm going to have a guess there, but here we are then behind Nazar. Can we make a run? We're going to try and line him up for a cutback here out of this right-hander. We're going to get actually a really nice run, and we're just going to decide. I think we're going to dive it up the inside. Yes, we do. We dive it up the inside there, and we're going to squeeze him out. And we're having the P15, so that's 2 places already. But points, like I said, do seem pretty unlikely. So we'll have to put up with, I think, with a non-points finish this race, which does suck. I'm not going to lie, but you know, just nothing you can do really. I thought we was really fast around here this weekend, but we just kept making mistakes, and eventually we paid the price for it. So here we are then, as you can see, on the final lap of the race, come through the final corner. We did pass Ericsson for P13, but thanks to that 5-second penalty, we're going to go back down to 14th, and 14th place in the Mexico Grand Prix. Not brilliant, but unfortunately not much more we could do, so we're just going to have to put up with it, and 2 more races left, so we're going to have to try and get the championship from there. So yeah, disappointing race for us here.
Top drive from Nico Rosberg today. The German finished on the top step of the podium with a comprehensive performance.
It really was a wonderful performance, and one that the team will be celebrating for some time to come.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
So yeah guys, that was the Mexican Grand Prix. As you can see, Nico Rosberg wins and Lewis Hamilton came second, so it's a 1-2 for Mercedes. Sebastian Vettel actually did pit again and finished in P6. So I don't know why he couldn't stretch them tyres out 2 more laps, but thanks to that he finished P6. So it's basically very few points for Ferrari this race, and not brilliant for us. The Williams actually got 3rd and 5th, so they're going to gain some points, but the main one is us down in P14, so an absolute shocker result, and that means Lewis Hamilton actually passes us for the lead of the championship, and he's now 5 points clear, so not what we wanted here in Mexico. And Rosberg's only 16 points behind us now, so he's also right up our chuff now in the championship. And with 2 races to go, you could say Vettel now 28 points behind Lewis Hamilton. He could be out of the title race maybe, unless he wins the next race. So it's starting to turn into a 3-way horse here in the championship. And here we are looking at the constructors. We are now 17 points behind Mercedes. So with 2 races to go, me and Vettel are going to have to try to get our act together, because Mercedes are just really finishing strong the second half of the season with them constant 1-2s. But nevertheless guys, if you enjoyed this video, then please do smash the like button. If you're new around here, then please do subscribe, and if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's in the link down below. Please do follow me on Twitter. I do update everyone there. And also, if you want to apply for a partnership, then click on the link below to join Freedom, which I definitely recommend. But that's about it from me guys, and I'll see you guys next time. So from me, goodbye.